Hey, welcome to the Hopcast.
Thanks for joining us once again, everybody.
I'm Brad Chmielewski.
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
Special guest!
I'm Sergio Salgado.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We know how you guys have all missed Sergio,
Yeah.
so we brought him all the way from behind the camera to in front of the camera.
That was like a 10-foot trip.
Did you hit record? Are you still checking that?
So Sergio likes himself some sour beers.
I do.
We like sour beer.
We like ourselves some sour beers.
And so do you.
Everyone.
Everyone does
That's
Who
not true.
doesn't? Yeah.
it. Jerks.
So we've got some pretty cool beers. We've got a beer from Upright.
Out in
You picked that up.
Yeah, out in Portland. It's their Fantasia. It's a sour ale with peach.
Aged in wine barrels, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
How long's Upright been around? You guys know?
No,
That I don't know.
around 5 years.
Yeah, they're not too old. They're
Yeah,
still
not too
kind of.
old, yeah.
good stuff.
3 to 5, I would say.
Okay.
Seems like a good number.
Yeah, sounds about right. Hopefully nobody's using Google while they're watching this.
Hopefully they are. And then we have another beer, a Flanders Red from the Goose Island Brew Pub on Clybourn. That was a celebration beer for 25th anniversary of that pub.
Right. So this was brewed for the Goose Island 25th anniversary and the Goose Island Pub 25th anniversary, right? Like it was in.
Well,
They were
the
just-
pub is what they recognize as being the 25th anniversary.
Okay.
So the pub on Clybourn was the first incarnation of anything Goose Island. Started in 1988, and then they branched off and did another pub and a production facility. So when the 25th anniversary for that pub actually came around, everyone kind of celebrated it, but it was really just for the pub.
Okay. And the pub still, they're their own thing.
Yes.
So this beer was released by them, and you could buy it at the brewery or at the pub there.
You could buy it at the pub. No distribution, so it sold out pretty quick. There were 2 different bottled runs that they did at the pub. Normally don't do any bottling over there,
Yeah.
so that was a time-consuming thing for them. I actually may have been the one that hand-dipped that in wax.
This one, this
It
particular
looks
one?
like a pretty good one, so that's probably mine. But yeah, I helped them out over there. They were looking for hands to get all this stuff turned over. So.
Yeah, the last time we did the Goose Island Pub beers was probably like one of the last times they bottled was when they were going to get shut down one of the times.
And that was the 20th anniversary cellar collection.
Right, so 5 years later, here we are.
Yes. I remember, I think it was Hopscotch Ale was on our first episode.
Yeah, they were bottling all their like big staple beers that they had done over the 20 years.
Yeah,
right?
they did 20 beers, one for each year, and they bottled them, and you would come out with it every week, or it was 2 weeks or something?
Yeah, and then you could go there and buy it. They'd put it on tap, and you could buy it as well, or whatever. So
You could buy into the collection and be like, yeah, I want all of them straight away, and then all you'd have to do is show up and pick up your bottle.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I feel like Don did that.
Don Radlin.
Shut up! But I was just going there and buying them, like, oh, what do you got? I'll take one of those.
Yeah.
Whatever's left.
Yeah.
And it was. I felt like it was. 5 years ago, it was like under the time when it was like everything was blowing up. Now, if they came out, they'd be gone that day.
Right.
You could go in like 3 weeks later and buy all 3. So, all right.
The good
Yeah.
old days.
Yeah.
The
Times
good
have
old
changed a
days.
little bit, and
All these people.
that's all because of the Hopcast.
Yeah, 5 years.
History in the making.
Where's our check for this?
I've received many. Anyways, boys, which beer would you like to start out with?
Well, you and I have had the Flanders. We've all had the Flanders. Have you?
I have had the Flanders.
So let's go Fantasia first.
All right, Fantasia from Upright.
So I was almost expecting this to be a little cloudier and murkier. Just
It's got a
from
nice
the
haze
peaches
on it,
and
but
yeah.
certainly not cloudy.
And light straw-like color.
Mhm.
Looks great. Whoa.
And smells great.
Yeah, aroma on this is just fantastic. You get a nice mix of the actual peach, which is a little tough to do. Peach can kind of be a little bit of a milder type of fruit, and
Like barnyardy.
you get some funk and also some wood to it as well.
Oh, right, because it's aged in wine barrels, right? Wow.
Smells like a winner.
Does it taste like it? Wow.
Tart up front, but kind of washes away into the malt bill and the peach.
It's a little mellower than I would have
Mm-hmm.
thought based on the aroma.
Yeah,
Not
it
quite.
smelled pretty sour,
Right.
but
Yeah.
it's tame.
Yeah, I feel like that wine flavor comes out a little more. Like the almost like a tannin kind of taste to it.
A little earthy flavor. going
Yeah.
on, yeah.
I'm picking up on that straight oak, just like it, kind of that. I guess you would call it like a wood tannin, but I get that in the finish as well.
Yeah. Are you disappointed it's not as tart as it smells?
No, I don't. No, I'm not.
It's still delicious. It's just it threw me off based on the aroma. It's just a different flavor going on, but still nice and complex. Some stuff going on in there.
I mean, sour ales don't have to just be ripping sour, just like hoppy beers. Same thing.
Right.
To be good. This has a nice blend of tart, fruity, complex, oaky. I think it's a great beer.
So is there a way to get, I guess, the sour aroma versus the taste? Like with hops, you can do late additions to get the aroma of the hops.
Yeah,
Is
I don't
there
know.
like
I don't know much about that.
can't sour late. That doesn't.
Yeah, right. It would be a totally different type of procedure. I mean, because you're looking at using two different things in completely different ways.
Right.
The only thing I can think of is the type of souring strain that you use. So
One might have like a stronger aroma.
yeah, because there's plenty of them out there. I mean, you're looking
strain
at
or
like
whatever, yeah.
even just the strains of Brettanomyces. There's tons of different kinds of Brettanomyces that do different things.
Right.
So that would be my only thought.
Okay. And it didn't say on there what strain or anything they used. It just said barrel aged sour ale. It wasn't a Bruck sour ale or a.
Right. If you call it a sour ale, it usually means there's some lactobacillus involved,
Okay.
which isn't even a strain of Brett. But sometimes what they'll do is, when using lactobacillus and say other strains, those strains actually produce diacetyl when they're fermenting, so they'll make your beer sour, but they're also going to make it buttery. Then they'll use Brett afterwards because Brett eats diacetyl.
Okay.
So you'll pitch it with your souring first, and then some Brett afterwards to clean up that sour. That's one method of getting around it.
But you do get that buttery taste from a lot of sour beers, which you're supposed to, I guess, get, right? And it's.
You shouldn't.
Oh, I guess it's okay.
You shouldn't. I mean, there's a reason why it tastes buttery.
Right. I thought that's because it's sour, so you accept that. Like, oh, it's a little buttery, but it's sour, and that's why.
Mhm.
If it was a lager that tasted buttery, then that didn't work out.
Yeah, I never really heard that the buttery flavor was acceptable in sours.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I certainly don't enjoy it when when they are sour, but it's a natural byproduct of that fermentation with those particular yeast strains that sour that beer.
Okay.
So if certain breweries are choosing to just leave it like that, I completely understand why it would be buttery.
Okay.
But I don't know. In my opinion, I'd like it clean. But yeah. And I'm not getting any of that here, so we're all good.
Honestly.
Very crisp.
I almost wish there was more peach in the taste, but it's it's light in there. Nice.
Yeah, I just get the light sweetness from it. I don't get a strong peach flavor.
I think peach beers are tough. This might be the most you're ever going to get from a peach beer where you're actually using real fruit and not some artificial syrup or something like that.
Right.
So I don't know. I've come to accept that with peach beer, it's always going to be kind of a subtle thing.
Right.
And that's okay with me.
I think we get conditioned to these fake fruit things from like candies and other things where it's like, that doesn't taste like grape. Grape tastes like this.
Yeah.
Grape crusher, come on.
Grape just
tastes
like
purple.
Sweet green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough when it's like you expect something different and like it's funny.
These craft breweries, they're doing their job.
Yeah.
They're using real ingredients?
They're using real ingredients.
I thought you just put a bunch of Skittles in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skittle Brow. I did that in high school. I mean, college. Podcast
College
does not
school.
endorse underage drinking. Yeah, but I really like this beer. I think it's delicious.
Yeah, it's refreshing, light. Cool. Yeah, it's good on a nice kind of warm day today. So
Mm-hmm.
let's finish it up and move on to the Flanders.
Absolutely.
All right,
Cheers.
let's do it.
Well, that Fantasia was great.
It was. I really enjoyed it. Sergio?
Likewise.
Okay.
Loved it.
Good.
Alas, we must move on and drink other beers.
So yes, we do have the Flanders Red, celebrating 25 years at the original Goose Island Clybourn Brew Pub.
Anything we should know before jumping into this?
It's a Flanders Red.
Check.
This beer was originally brewed underneath Jared Rubin,
Okay.
who has since moved on. And when it actually got released, it was under Nick Barron, who's the current and newest, obviously, head brewer over at the Clybourn Brew Pub.
Okay. And Jared's moved on to start Moody Tongue, which
Yep.
recently got announced. And I want to say I heard that they might have beer out by the end of the year. But
Was that in the article? Or was that just you
I've heard
sleuthing around?
hearsay, heard say. Someone said.
All right. Well, yeah,
That's
we're
it, yeah.
interested to see what Jared's going to do over at Moody Tongue. If he's planning on having beer by the end of the year, good luck to you, buddy. I want to see it happen. I'm going to put the Hopcast time date on you right now.
Countdown has started.
Stamp.
There you go. Time stamp.
Time stamp.
It's
Yeah.
ticking down.
Because we're thirsty.
But we
That's right.
we got one of his beers here, so we can see what he's gonna do with Moody Tongue. Right?
So yeah, here we go. 25th anniversary.
Oh, that just
Flanders
popped right
Red.
off.
That just really just came right. That's weird. Oh. Should probably get that checked out.
Well, that's red. It's red, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it down here, it looks pretty dark, almost like brown.
It's like
Up
a
on the
chestnut
light.
color.
Yeah.
Is where the red really
Chestnut,
comes
I
through.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like light, little medium brown head.
Mm-hmm. Some funky sourness on the nose.
Yeah, the Fantasia was a little more like earthy sour.
Mm-hmm.
This is more like, I guess, funky, wet blankety.
Right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Jumps around in your mouth.
It does. It's got a lot of lactic in the back of the mouth there.
There's a lot going on. It's different than the Fantasia, which is lighter and a little more refreshing. It's just kind of funky. I don't know, it tastes dark,
Uh-huh.
but that's really not. You can't taste darkness.
Well, it's got to have like a deep malt character to it.
Yeah, but it's not like bready.
Caramel.
It's not like bready malt. It's not like a bready taste either.
No, it's not bready and it's not roasty, but it still has like a full, just like straight ahead malt character.
It's pretty sweet too. It's like Jolly Rancher kind of sweetness to it on the lips and stuff.
Makes you pucker a little bit. Just a little bit of pucker.
So do you know how long he kept this?
I thought it was about a year in the
okay.
barrel. I could be wrong, but that's what I thought.
Okay.
They don't have a ton of space over there in that little pub to do a lot of barrel aging, and I know that for a long time, pretty much every beer he was making, at least one barrel was being used.
Okay. I got
So that's quite a bit of barrels, considering. I mean, that brew pub puts out, I think, like 52 different beers a year, which is
Wow.
or even
beer a week.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, at least, because they do a beer premiere every Thursday,
Okay.
and sometimes more. So, I mean, if you're looking at putting every single one of those in a barrel at some point, that's quite a bit of space and time. Depending on the beer, you're not going to age every single one for a year. But I mean, if you've ever been to the Clybourn Brew Pub, it's a small place.
Right. There's like that weird little cubby hole
Yeah.
crawl space thing that
Got a
they
little
like
crawl
keep
space where they
stuff
put
in.
all the firkins.
Yeah, they don't really. You see that open if you've ever like gone on a tour. Sometimes they may show it to you, but it's not like they might be like, "Here's where we keep stuff." And you're just like,
It's literally like underneath the bar. There's a little crawl space area, just directly underneath the bar.
I had no idea.
So that's how they properly cellar their firkins and keep them pumping right.
If you work there, you could probably go take a nap.
Take a nap.
down there.
Firkins, napping people, and dead bodies. You know. Good temperature for all that.
For napping and Firkin.
And dead people.
Are you asleep or are you dead? Depends on how many beers you drink.
I've wondered.
I'd say it tastes like a Flanders Red. Like, it's got a
that's
very like traditional, not traditional. I don't.
Yeah, I would certainly say it's very true to style.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
That's where I was going.
say Flanders Red, and
Yeah.
and sometimes people deviate and all that stuff. This seems pretty, straightforward,
Yep.
traditional. I think you're right.
Yeah, it's nice and solid with
Mhm.
so it does a good job.
What's the standard Flanders Red you usually see? Is
You
it, like,
see Rodenbach is
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
it's kind of your staple.
But this is really nice. I like it.
Yeah,
I think
came
I
out
could-
well.
Any Flanders, I think I'd only want like a glass. I don't think I'm good. Don't need to drink Flanders all night. I like it.
I don't think you're really supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Unless you hate yourself.
You got Flandered? Is that a thing?
Been Flandered.
you can get a little bit of the stomach O's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Might have to use the nearest facility. The first time I had ever tried a sour beer, been reading about it. This was years ago. I was actually living at my parents' house at the time. It was that long ago, and I went straight ahead. I mean, back then you could find Cantillon on the shelf. It was no big deal. So it was $20 a bottle, and no one wanted to pay for it. No one knew anything about sour beer.
You're saving money living at home? You're good?
I was saving money. I was living at home. No big deal. So I went straight into the deep end and tried their 100% Goose. And I brought it home, and I was really excited to try it. I popped it open, poured myself a glass, and I was like, wow, that is fucking sour. And I tried to pass it off to my family. I was like, here, try some. I don't want to drink this whole 750 milliliter bottle by myself. Because I kind of enjoyed it, but it was a little sour. I was still kind of getting those taste buds developed for it, but they were having none of it. So I was like, all right, I guess it's just me. So I drank the whole bottle by myself,
Oh God.
and I did not feel very well.
Like, that made my stomach hurt just listening to that.
Oh,
Where's that bathroom?
man, it was, ooh.
There's beer shits and then there's sour beer shits.
That brings up another story.
Oh.
Eric Hobbs,
There's more.
now
Shut
of
up.
Penrose Brewing Company, shout out. When he went to Belgium, he was at Cantillon and all these breweries for drinking all these beers. He said in the morning his shit smelled like Britannomyces. You're welcome, Eric.
And
Okay.
with that,
Yeah.
thanks for watching.
Where can we
Cheers.
go with that?